Welcome to Cooking with Bobbi Jo. Chastity here with another drool-worthy human treat. This is part 2 of last week's video, and if you missed last week's video, go back and watch it. I showed you how to use blue grits to make cheesy bacon shrimp and grits. Here's the missing footage I couldn't find when I made last week's video, so this is leftover from last week's video. Last week we left off pouring the leftover grits into a dish, covering it with plastic wrap so they can sit in the fridge and harden. And this works best overnight, but I wanted these for supper, so they had been in the fridge for about 8 hours. I have my oil heating in the skillet, and grits cakes are basically fried grits. They can also be baked. I have a recipe I created where I bake them that I will link below in the video description and also above. So I'm going to remove the plastic wrap, set my grits aside while I get my batter ready. I use pie plates anytime I need to batter stuff for frying, so use whatever you have, but I use pie plates. I crack 2 eggs and then pour in a little milk. I'd say this is about 1/4 cup of milk. Whisk it all together. In another pie plate, place 1 cup of cornmeal and 1 cup of self-rising flour. I may not need this much, but I'm also going to be using it for frying my fish. Also add in some extra seasonings. You don't have to do this. I like my breading to have some seasoning on it, so I'm adding in some onion powder, garlic powder, salt and pepper. I'm going to mix all that together and set it aside. Then you want to cut your grits, and you can cut your grits into whatever shapes you want. I'm just cutting mine into rectangles. You can make them as big or as small as you want. I find that this is the largest I want them to be because anything bigger has a tendency of falling apart. And these grits, they're not as firm as I like them, so hopefully they don't fall apart. See those brighter blue spots? That's where the shrimp is. If this was any other food, I'd look at it and say, okay, it's bad. It's starting to look like a science project. But since these are blue grits, anywhere there's shrimp or bacon, the spots get a little brighter blue after sitting in the fridge for a few hours. I should have probably put these in a larger dish so they would be thinner. Thinner grits harden better and will be easier to fry. If they're too soft like these, you can always stick them in the freezer for a bit. I'll say that again. They are always best after being in the fridge overnight. I'll make these work though. They're supposed to be crunchy on the outside and soft on the inside. Dip the grits in the egg mixture and then coat all sides, then dip it into the dry ingredients and do the same. You want to test your oil. You want to drop a little batter in and make sure it sizzles. If it doesn't, then let it heat up a little longer. It is important that your oil is hot enough. Then drop the grits cakes in. Let them fry for about 2 minutes each side. You don't want them to fry much longer than that because the longer they fry, the softer they will get and they will start falling apart. And these are already soft. While those are frying, I'm going to go ahead and bread up my fish, and I do the same thing for the fish. I dip it in the egg and then in the dry ingredients, being sure to coat all sides. Y'all, I just realized I forgot cornstarch. If you want your batter to be crispier, add a few tablespoons of cornstarch to the flour mixture. For this much flour and cornmeal, I usually add about 1/4 cup of cornstarch. And I haven't fried food in a long time, so I'm forgetting things here. And this will be the last time I fry anything in a while because after this meal, I'm back on my healthy eating because this is just Steve's birthday meal. Once they are browned on each side, remove from the skillet and place in a paper towel lined dish. And if my doctors are watching this video, this is pre-recorded. By the time you see this, I will be eating my low-fat, low-carb meals again. I have a few more videos to edit, so all the cooking videos for the next couple of months are pre-recorded, and a lot of the stuff I actually gave away I did not eat. And I found out my doctors, they're subscribed to my channel, so they're going to be fussing at me about eating fried foods. I have another fried grits cake video I did a couple of years ago. I'll link it here too if you want to watch it. They fried up a little better than these did. My brain wasn't fried from the C virus back then, so I could think and I would remember to put all my ingredients in. Steve wanted corn, so this is a carb-filled meal. The grits cakes are delicious even if they're not as crispy on the outside as I normally like, and the fish is also delicious. The fish is perfect. So these cheesy shrimp and bacon blue grits cakes definitely get the drool-worthy stamp of approval. Don't forget to check out the other grits recipes on the Cast Iron Wednesdays playlist for this month. I'll leave the link below. And thanks for watching. Stay tuned Saturday as we will be making Carla May a doggy birthday cake. We are a little late celebrating her birthday, but better late than never. Don't forget to check back weekly for more drool-worthy human and doggy treats. Have a blessed week.